MassBlade, if you're listening to this.
The game has changed.
MassBlade. If MassBlade's not in here, someone tell him in game that I will make it my life's journey to hunt him down.
So you think I forgot, huh? Guys, don't be ridiculous. All right, welcome back, Mass Gang. Okay, we out here, man. We are back with some more revelation. Okay, another one of these type of videos. Okay, I know you guys love it. All right, I know you guys enjoy. Okay, so now listen, there is a lot to talk about. I hope you guys had a good summer. Okay, I hope you guys are enjoying, you know, getting some sun, touching some grass. Okay, all right, but hey, man, it is what it is. Okay, but listen. There is a lot to talk about. So much is happening with this game. Like, so much is happening. Like, dude, when I first, saw all of these new changes, I was actually shocked. With so much of these class reworks, like, so much classes have been completely flipped around, completely changed to make them OP. Some of them have been nerfed. Some of them, they're kind of the same. But honestly, I'm gonna go over every single class in the game, all 10 of them, okay, including Tidecaller, every single one of them. I have tried every single class in the game. I have been doing some testing, some scaling with the damage, how much they get shield value, anti-CC, a whole bunch of stuff, man. Their survivability, everything, literally everything. So I'm literally going to do a tier list. Now, this is going to be a brand new tier list because this is going to be one I'm going to do for for the potential future. Because obviously Global hasn't got this patch yet, but we will get this in the potential future. So it will be a couple months before we get this. However, C server, the translation is accurate enough for me to actually understand every single skill in the game and how they all work and how they translate to the abilities and the awakening talents as well, which I will get into. I will talk about literally every single class's awakening. Okay, all of it. So I'm going to do it in order, starting from the top of the list, and I'll work my way down. And at the end of when I talk about each class and their awakening and, the new factions and everything, I will also put a rank on the class going from F tier to S tier. Okay, so good lord, guys, I hope you really appreciate this because literally, this is probably gonna be the last like type of, you know, like guidance, if you want to call it that, honestly, type of video for this game. Honestly, this will probably be my last one. It's not really a guide, it's more of a tool to like give you guys a bit of insight for like which class is really good and which class is like, you know, like in the middle, or which class is kind of bad. But honestly, there's not really a bad class in this game. Like literally every class is played in their own way, so always keep that in mind, okay? But I will be ranking every class based on like how much utility they have, how much survivability they have, and how much damage output they can potentially do, and you know, like how the class is overall, okay? Now we're talking about PvP, we're talking about 1v1, we're talking about mass PvP, and we're talking about PvE. We're talking about everything, okay? All in one bundle. And Rift as well, like everything, literally everything, like highest damage output, everything. So also like how classes, how much sustain they have in terms of like tankability and everything. So I will be going over all of it. So now let's begin with the Spirit Shaper. Alright, so starting with the Spirit Shaper. Now, before we start, I just want to say that, guys, these videos take a lot of time and effort to make, okay? I really hope you guys really do appreciate it. And I hope it's very informative for you guys. Because, dude, there's... Bro, you don't want to know how long it took me to make this video, like, honestly. And the last one as well. It actually took quite a while. So, yeah. Anyway, so with the Spirit Shaper, it's one of those classes that it's always... It can always be needed, okay? Like, honestly, the HP Equalization 2-star is, like, the best thing about this class. It is actually the most overpowered ability for in terms of, like, team play and supporting-wise. So what it does is that it equalizes the whole team's HP from highest to lowest, all to, like, equalize the team's HP bars. So, literally... if like one person is about to die, you can literally use this skill to like save them and share the HP of everyone in the team. And not to mention, while it tethers everyone in the team, it also gives passive damage reduction on everyone that is shared with this ability. So while this ultimate literally tethers everyone in the party, it gives them a huge amount of damage reduction as well. So you literally heal the lowest person's HP. Literally, you can heal like multiple people if they're really low. So you can literally just save them and just give them a huge chunk of HP and help them survive in the fight a lot longer, which is massive. Honestly, it's so good. But there is a downside to it as well. It also lowers the HP of the highest HP people in the team as well. But it's really good because it's better than having a death, if you know what I mean. So it does help a lot. Now, the thing is, the damage reduction also helps a lot. So it helps the team sustain as well a lot longer and just helps everyone out. So it is pretty good either way. Now, the thing is with this class is that, honestly, it's more of an all-arounder because its PvE damage is really bad. It's not really good in PvE damage. So using it as a main DPS, I just don't see it. It just wouldn't work. It has got buffed over the patches. Spirit Shaper has been buffed quite a little bit, but not like tremendously or anything. In 1v1 PvP, Spirit Shaper is really broken now. So it has been really buffed a lot in 1v1 PvP. Because of the spiritualization dual talent, which has been converted over to an awakening talent now. So you can use this all the time, which is really broken. But you can't use it in balanced PvP, obviously. But in terms of like open world and stuff, yeah, 1v1 PvP, that awakening talent is absolutely broken. Like, it's also good in terms of like surviving as well for like 5v5 or mass PvP. You can literally just survive and go in fox form and just heal yourself. It is really good. In terms of their awakening talents, they're pretty normal. like they're pretty basic. Like the only really crazy one is the one I mentioned, the one that heals you over time while you're in fox form. Literally 3% per second. It's just broken, honestly. You can use this in damage stance too, so in 1v1 PvP this is absolutely crazy. It helps them sustain a lot, bro. You just cannot kill Spirit Shaper, honestly. So it's a really tanky class. Now the thing is that Thousand Forms has been nerfed a little bit, just a tiny bit. So in terms of like damage, it's just not that great, honestly. It did more damage in the previous patches, if I'm going to be honest. Now the thing is, there is a talent to actually buff the damage for this, but it's not as high as it was. So now they do also have the green vines that has been converted into damage as well. So they did try to buff the damage a little bit. So now the class has a little bit more AoE damage, which I think is nice. You know, they are trying to like diversify some of the classes to make them more versatile in terms of the gameplay. So like classes that didn't have a lot of AoE damage before, for example like Dragonknight, Spirit Shaper, Occultist, they actually have a lot more AoE damage now in these new patches. So I think that's pretty cool. So they are changing the game a lot more to suit like your playstyle for all classes. So I think that's pretty good. Now, what I would rank this class, I would rank it a B tier. Honestly, it's not like a great class that's like really overpowered. It's also not a bad class either. Spirit Shaper is just in the middle. Honestly, it's just in the middle. So I'll put it at a B tier. I think that's fair. Honestly, I couldn't really say there's anything like, oh wow, this is crazy, you know. So I can't really put it like S tier. Definitely not S tier. I can't put it A tier as well, because dude, like it doesn't have like a lot of damage, you know. So I can't really put it A tier either. It's got a lot of sustain though, so that's good. So I could put it like maybe bottom of A tier, or I could put it top of B tier, like somewhere around there. It's like in between B tier and A tier, you know. But yeah, it's like in the middle, so I'll put it like B tier, honestly, because I think there's other classes that do deserve A tier in my opinion. But anyway, so that's pretty much it. Oh, and Spirit Shaper is also one of those classes that can also revive people as well, and it can also self-revive in itself as well, which is also really good. So in terms of that as well, yeah, I would put it at like, I'll put it at B tier. I'll put it at B tier, honestly. Moving on to the Dragonknight. So, with the Dragonknight. Now, Dragonknight, in this new patch, honestly, Dragonknight has been, it's been buffed and nerfed at the same time. Is this a good buff? Yes. Yes, it is. Is it a bad nerf? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, so it's like, bro, I don't know what else to say, bro. They have absolutely nerfed this class into the ground, bro. It's also buffed it really high up there as well. So it's really hard for me to say about Dragonknight though. But in terms of like raw damage, this class is crazy. So they have buffed this class with damage a lot. Okay, so Dragonknight hits hard as hell, bro. Okay, now if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, okay, they have recently given Dragonknight a 10% increase in spell damage, magic damage, which is pretty huge. Not to mention, they've also buffed the weakness debuff as well. So there's also that. They have buffed this so hard with the new awakening. Even with the basic faction of the weakness debuff, they have buffed it a lot to where it can stack up to 5 times now. And then with the awakening talent, you can scale this even higher and make it stack up to like 8 times, which is insane, bro. It also does even more damage now, and you can make it as an AoE. And if people go into contact, it also does even more damage as well, which is, bro, it's so OP. Like, dude, Dragonknight is actually scary. Well, on C server, they call this class the Swordsaint. It's the same thing. Dragonknight and Swordsaint are the same class. Just in case if you guys are wondering. The weakness debuff, like, bro, it is actually so broken. It does so much damage. Like, dude, they've also buffed Dragonknight to where the AoE dragon attack can be summoned 3 times. You can even summon it more times if you have the awakening maxed out as well. So in terms of like AoE damage, they have buffed Dragonknight a lot. So Dragonknight actually does pretty good, decent amount of AoE damage now. So it's a pretty good class overall. However, now, back in the day, Dragonknight used to have a talent that can increase the damage reduction you have during your anti-CC by 51%. Okay, now in this recent patch, they have completely removed it. Now, what does this mean? Well, that means Dragonknight no longer have any sustain. So if you just throw damage on a Dragonknight, they will just die, bro. They will just die. Now they have buffed the domain circle where you go stealth when you're inside of it. Okay, they have buffed this to where the Dragonknight gets raw attack power and raw defensive power for 5 seconds, which is pretty nice. It's pretty good, but that's only for 5 seconds. Okay, and it's not really a whole lot. Honestly, 51% damage reduction is crazy. Like, bro, that is insane. So you can no longer like go in crowds and stuff, you know, in like mass PvP or whatever, and just take no damage. Dragonknight just takes a shit ton of damage now. You have nothing to protect yourself apart from the spinning swords. That's pretty much all you have for the extra 30% block rate. That is it. That's literally it. But that's not enough to sustain yourself for a long amount of time. It's just not. So Dragonknight in terms of survivability has dropped a lot. But in terms of damage and Rift and Azure Tower or whatever, like Dragonknight is bro, it's such a good class. It is still really good for Isle of Greed as well. It's just a really good class overall, honestly. In terms of damage, this class is nothing to sneeze at. It's one of those classes where, bro, they hit you a few times, you just lose all your HP. Like, dude, it does so much damage. Now, the thing is with the weakness debuff, it only does a lot of damage if you move. So remember that. All you have to do is just not move. So you can counterplay this class as well. So it's not like it's super overpowered to where I'll put it S tier. But damage in this game does mean a big deal. So in terms of damage, I will put this class at A tier. In my opinion, I think Dragonknight should be at A tier. But it doesn't really have a lot of sustain. So I don't know. So I was thinking to put it B tier as well. But damage is really good. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll probably put it at an A tier. Because I think the weakness debuff, it can be used really well in terms of like a mass PvP situation or even 1v1 because the person can't move, you know, so you literally screw them over. PvE, the class does a shit ton of damage as well. It is just crazy. It also buffs all familiars as well, so the class is insane. It's insanely good. So yeah, I'll put it at an A tier. In terms of like the familiar buffs and how much damage it can do in PvP as well and PvE. So yeah, its raw attack power, yeah, I'll put it at an A tier, in my opinion. Okay, so that's pretty much all I want to talk about with Dragonknight. Okay, now let's move on to the Paladin. Now moving on to the Paladin. Now we're getting to the good stuff, okay? Now we're getting to the really crazy changes, all right? So, where do I even begin with this class? Jesus, guys, okay? When I tell you there are classes that have been buffed and there are classes that have been nerfed, Paladin has been buffed so hard in this new patch. Like, the class is, bro, I don't even have to finish this description. The class is immediately S tier. Immediately S tier. It's not even close. Okay? Paladin just has everything now. Dude, they buffed this class so hard. It is insane. There is a reason why you guys saw me change to Paladin, okay, on the global server. Alright, but anyway, okay, I'll save that for another time. But yeah, so let me give you the rundown as to why Paladin is so overpowered now. Okay, so Paladin has always been a good class. Okay, even before this patch, Paladin has always been a core class of the game. It is the best tank in the game. Okay, so literally everyone needs a Paladin. Everyone needs a Paladin. It also can protect the team as well, give everyone damage reduction. It is super good. Okay, it's got a lot of stagger as well. It's just so good. Okay, so it's also good for like pulling mobs. You know, you can literally just pull the whole crowd, and dude, so good. It also is a class that synergizes really well for everyone in your team in PvP as well, because you can pull all of the players and synergize like a Swordmage Inferno or an Assassin AoE combo or a Blademaster Vanity Splash, or you know, like a big AoE damage like type of situation. Paladin synergizes with almost every class in the game. It is just such a good meta class. Okay, so Paladin is immediately S tier. Okay, especially now. This class is actually god tier, bro. I'm just gonna put it out there. Okay, Paladin is god tier. All right, so what have they done to Paladin? Well, guys, not only have they buffed this class's damage tremendously, okay, they've also given it a whole bunch of sustain as well, including extra unstoppable attacks as well. So now the class has even more anti-CC as well. Well, not anti-CC, but in terms of like unstoppable, like super armor, so you cannot be CC'd. So they have an extra unstoppable on the glowing shield. They've also tripled the shield rate as well. You can even do a unstoppable attack with Thunderpool now. Yes, that is real. There is an awakening now where you can go unstoppable in Thunderpool status. Okay, now if you think it stops there, okay, guys, not only are you unstoppable, but you also release a Dragon's Grip for every second you do a Thunderpool, and you pull another target within 12 meters that is the furthest away. And if you stack this with the new faction as well, that also makes Dragon's Grip do more damage as well, and it's also an AoE, bro, you can literally pull a whole bunch of people. So you can literally go in mass PvP now, just go in an army and just do this right in the middle and start pulling people to the center. You can even combo this with the 1-star as well into a Glimmer 2-star and just do a whole bunch of AoE CCs. This class is literally a war machine now. This class is so crazy. Like, guys, and the thing is, you don't even need a faction in order to use this awakening set as well. You can just pull it on, which is even more crazy. Now, if you think it stops there, okay, it doesn't. Now, Paladin has also got a Thunderstrike effect now, where they can do additional damage to their targets, and they also have a buffed Line Breaker attack, which is the Shield Bash attack, which, as you guys know, does a huge amount of damage anyway on its own. Now, they've also buffed that attack. Not to mention, they have also added talents in the game now to where if you are shielded, your class does more damage while shielded. And it's a whopping like 7.2% extra damage while you are shielded. And Paladin shields itself anyway. So Paladin just got a huge amount of damage. Not to mention the leap attack also has additional percentage damage for an extra 5 seconds as well when it hits the target. And this is also AoE. So you can also debuff targets to where you could do an additional 6% amount of damage. Okay, now for the best part. Paladin also have self-revive in damage stance now. Yes. Yeah, okay. Now, guys, like I said, this class has been buffed sky high, okay? You can revive yourself in damage stance. Back in the day, that wasn't a thing. You can only revive in tank stance. You can now do this in damage stance. Not to mention, it gets even better. Okay, it gets even better. It also got buffed in 1v1 PvP as well, and mass PvP. And even PvE as well. Like, bro, it got buffed in every single mode possible. Okay? Paladin also have 2 charges of the Dragon's Grip as well. There is also a faction that can do this, which is a damage faction. Which is, bro, is so overpowered, honestly, because the pool was already broken. Now it also pulls an extra target that's 3 meters close to the target it originally pulls. So it is now AoE, which is crazy. Okay, it also does additional damage as well. It also doubles the damage if you choose the faction. It is just, bro, it's so crazy how much they've buffed this class. Okay. If you think it stops there as well, it doesn't, okay? It gets even better. Now, Paladin also have passive self-heal as well, okay? We all saw this coming, okay? Now, if you really want to mix and match talents to be really tanky, okay? You can even put 1 stage of the Psychic Sword Awakening talent to where you restore 1% of your max HP every 3 seconds. Which is really good for just extra sustain. You know, you can use that just for extra healing. You know, you don't have to use this, but you can. It's just there. Okay, it exists. So that's also really good as well. So in terms of like 1v1 PvP, I would say that's also really good and really needed. But anyway, so yeah, Paladin immediately S tier. It's not even close. Like, bro, the amount of shields you can do with this class, the amount of unstoppable super armor, like, bro, it's got so much damage reduction as well. Paladin is just, it is an absolute war machine. This class is crazy. It's so good. So good now. It also has a ton of AoE damage, a ton of CC, like AoE attacks. Like, bro, it's just insane. It is insane. Insane. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. It also just synergizes with every class. It is just the meta class of the game. Like, bro, it's too good. It's just too good. So, yeah. You guys want to know more about Paladin? There you go. There you go. So, yeah, man. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. But, yeah, immediately S tier. I don't even have to think about it, okay? Paladin is just... It's insane now. So, yeah. Moving on to the next class, which is Gunslinger. Moving on to the Gunslinger. So, now for all Gunslinger players, prepare to be disappointed because the class has been nerfed. Sustain-wise, the class is really, really easy to kill now. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, now, Gunslinger, in terms of damage, it's been buffed, okay? Damage-wise, it has been buffed, but the tank stance doesn't exist anymore. So you can no longer be tanky as a Gunslinger, which really sucks, but at the same time, do you really want to go tank stance as a Gunslinger? It was not really needed anyway, so I'm just going to keep it honest. Okay, so, anyway. So with Gunslinger, honestly, I've already rated this class. Even with the new awakenings, it's just very mediocre. I'll put Gunslinger at like a D tier. Honestly, I think Gunslinger is probably the worst class in the game. In my professional opinion, Gunslinger is the worst class in the game, and I'm gonna explain why. Okay, so remember, I rank these classes based on overall performance. So this is PvE, PvP, 1v1 PvP, team play, and support-wise, sustain, and mass PvP as well. Like everything, the whole bundle. So, Gunslinger is bad in every single mode apart from, I would say, 1v1 PvP. Gunslinger is really good in 1v1. But apart from that, Like, I just don't see it. It's not really an effective class. It's not really efficient. Now, there's one really good reason for this, okay? And that's because the class lacks AoE damage. And I've always said this, okay? You guys have heard me talk about Gunslinger on Discord, okay? If you guys have been keeping up with me on Discord, okay, you know I have said that Gunslinger lacks AoE. Like, dude, it just doesn't have any good AoE attacks apart from the spin. That's literally it. And the worst part about it as well is that the spin, you literally have to go melee range in order to do this. So it really sucks. In terms of like PvP, bro, like, you want to be as far away from targets as possible because you are a gunslinger. You do not want to go within melee range. So the fact that your biggest AoE hitting skill is a melee attack. Now, I'm not talking about the ultimates, okay? The ultimates are also damage over time, which I think really sucks. Like, it has no burst AoE, which I think is really stupid, honestly. I think that's really dumb. And they come out really slow as well. Like, it's easily dodgeable. And it's just not really a good class. It's one of those classes where it's only single target based. It's more of a single target based class. In terms of PvE damage, it's got good damage in PvE, but it's not really good for AoE damage. So yeah, you lack in that department. So it's not really that great. And so in terms of like mobbing, the class really sucks. Now, it's not really that good. That you have the 3-star, sure, you can summon the airship or whatever. There's also war armor. War armor, I've always said, needs to be buffed, okay? They need to buff war armor. They just have to buff it. Now, there is certain talents to where you can buff the damage and the damage reduction of war armor, but it's not by a whole lot, unfortunately, which is really sad. Honestly, they just haven't given a lot of love to war armor. Also, in terms of like the awakening talents, Gunslinger didn't even get a single talent that buffs war armor at all, which I think is really dumb. Okay, like, honestly, they really have to buff the robot, bro. Like, buff war armor, I think this class will be really good. So yeah, they've also given like a suicide bomber type of build as well, to where if you kill the gunslinger, they explode upon death, which does a lot of damage, and it's AoE damage, and it also stuns them too with the awakening effect, which I think is really good. It can also explode a second time if you max this talent as well, which is pretty good. But do you really want to base your build around you dying? If you know what I mean. It's just I don't understand, bro. If it did this when your character goes below 30% HP, I will say, okay, this is kind of crazy. This is kind of good, okay? But it's only when you die. So it's like, is it worth it? Not really. But the damage is good, and it's also AoE, but bro, it's only if you die. So it's like, what the fuck? In terms of like the landmine in 1v1 PvP has been tremendously buffed, because now it can move and actually follow and track the target now with a certain build, which is crazy. You can also extend the stun duration, and you could also make it place around yourself every 10 seconds, which is crazy, and you can reduce the cooldown of it. So in terms of like CC potential, Gunslinger is insane. But that doesn't really help you with damage now, does it? So the class isn't really that good. There's also like a bleeding build as well, but bleeding's not bad, but like, you don't really want to bleed. You want damage. You want like raw damage, raw burst, you know? But the class is just very mediocre. Gunslinger's also one of those classes that die really quickly as well. You just throw a few attacks on them, they just die. So it's like Gunslinger it's very mid, bro. Like, honestly, it's not a good class in my opinion. It's just not. In terms of 1v1 PvP though, yes, Gunslinger's pretty good. PvE, it's alright, but now here's the funny thing about Gunslinger, bro, is that it should be a class to where it should do like one of the top 2 most damage in terms of PvE, but it just doesn't, because there's classes like Assassin and Blademaster that do more damage than Gunslinger anyway. So it's like, bro, it's not even like the highest damage PvE class in the game or some shit. So I couldn't even rank it higher. Like, it's just not a good class. Like, honestly, it's just not a good class. Like, I'm gonna keep it honest, bro. Even Holy Lancer now does more damage than Gunslinger now, because Holy Lancer in this patch actually got buffed. Believe it or not, Holy Lancer gets buffed again, which is crazy. Like, bro, like, what the fuck? The class got buffed, bro. Like, it got nerfed and then it got buffed. Like, make it make sense. You know, it's just stupid, honestly. But anyway, so yeah, Gunslinger, I would put it at a D tier, in my opinion. Gunslinger, I'll put it at a D tier. It's just not an efficient class, honestly. But that's my main opinion about the class. But anyway, I think they also need to buff the Cloud Puncher bullet as well. I think they should buff this as well to where it comes out faster and it does like tracking damage instead of you standing still and it only goes in one direction. I think this is stupid. They should make it actually be fixed location to where if you shoot it at a target, it hits them no matter what. I think that would be really cool. It would make the class a little bit better, but that's about it, man. Like, the class is just not that great. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, I haven't changed my decision. The class is still D tier, in my opinion. But yeah, that's about it. So moving on to Swordmage. Now with the Swordmage. So Swordmage is a pretty interesting one, actually. I ain't gonna lie. It's a pretty interesting class now. Swordmage is pretty crazy. Now, so Swordmage have been buffed. They've also been nerfed as well at the same time. But it's more of a good buff. The nerf isn't really that bad as you think. So the only nerf that this class has received is that there's no longer a tank stance anymore. So there's no tank stance anymore, so there's no mana shield. So you do not have the damage reduction talent anymore. So Swordmage dies a lot faster now. So you're forced to go damage, like you don't really have a choice. But the thing is, Swordmage, you always go damage stance anyway, for most occasions, apart from 1v1. But the thing is, the class actually has really good potential now, to where it doesn't even matter that they lost the tank stance anyway. And I will explain. So, now, Swordmage is actually a really scary class now because they have been buffed a lot with damage. So their burst damage now is really high. Like, I mean, Swordmage is strong. Now, there's also a really interesting buff that they give in this class. Now, I'm going to show you guys what I mean to why Swordmage, in terms of losing the tank stance, doesn't really matter that much. So, there is an awakening talent, which is the Gathered Sword Intent. Okay, the blue awakening set, which allows you to use the Ice Shield 2 times. So you have 2 charges of this. So why is this so huge? Because Swordmage is a squishy class. So if you can just make yourself immune and just self-heal yourself 2 times now, that is pretty crazy. Okay? That is actually insane. Not to mention, you can also have a faction to where you can do Star Sword multiple times and actually buff yourself to have more damage the more times you do Star Sword, which is crazy AoE DPS. Like, bro, this class is so good now. Like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Now, it's still a class to where you have to cast a lot of skills. That hasn't changed. So if this class wasn't like a casting based class, I would put Swordmage at an S tier. I would actually put Swordmage at S tier. But the only reason why it is an A tier, in my opinion, is because it casts too much skills. So you're constantly standing still and you have to like be really slow to cast your attacks, which really sucks. Now the thing is, there is the backstep that gives you an instant cast to one skill. But the thing is, after that, you pretty much have to cast all your other skills anyway. So it's like, you know, it kind of sucks. But the only skill that you really want to make instant is Star Sword and Inferno. pretty much, honestly. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. So it's not really that bad. But here's where it gets pretty annoying, because the thing is, Swordmage in terms of PvE damage isn't really the best class. It's not really that good. It's been buffed really hard now, so it will do more damage now, which is pretty good. So they have buffed this class really high, so I think in terms of PvE damage, it will do a lot more. So I think the class will hold up well in terms of PvE damage. Now, there is one problem, is that Swordmage cast mostly all of their skills. So if you are fighting a boss that moves around the map a lot, you are going to miss a lot of your attacks, unfortunately, which is one of the worst parts about this class. So you will miss out on a lot of DPS. That's like also another reason why this class has dropped to A tier as well. I would have put it S tier, honestly, if it was just all instant, but yeah, that's just not how it is. So yeah, in terms of like its overall performance, it's really good in PvP. Swordmage is really good in PvP. It's good in 1v1, it's good in mass PvP, it's good in war PvP, it's good in 3v3, 5v5, it's good in everything. Literally, PvE as well, it's good in PvE, it's good in every single mode. Honestly, there's not one mode that this class is bad in, so it's an overall good class. Its sustain is decent. It's not bad because the Celestial Shield does heal you over time as well, and it makes you immune to all damage. And the fact that you can do this twice now is crazy. It also has good movement. Swordmage has really good movement as well. So you can literally teleport and get out of situations to not get hit a lot and not get yourself killed. So the class is pretty good in terms of like overall performance, I would say. So I would definitely put this class at an A tier. It also has one of the best skills in the game, which is the Inferno 3-star. In terms of like 5v5 or war PvP, you know, like this class is overpowered, okay? It's the best skill in the game. Inferno is the best skill in the game for PvP. Honestly, it just is. 1v1, not so much. But 3v3, 5v5, mass PvP, this class is just an absolute monster, okay? So Swordmage immediately gets a pass to like a really good class. So overall performance, I would say this class is an A tier, solid A tier. Okay, I would not put it lower, and I would not put it higher either. So yeah, I think that's fair. Also, there is a really interesting talent for the Wisdom set effect, the purple set effect, which says if you get the third collection, you can actually restore all of your HP and MP when you receive critical damage, which I found really interesting, and it triggers every 3 minutes. So there's a huge downside to this as well, because you lose 10% of your maximum HP per second for 8 seconds. So you lose 80% of your HP overall, which is kind of crazy. It's like, who would use this? Like, what the fuck? Like, I found this really weird, honestly. This is a really weird talent. Why did they put this in the game? I was figuring out a way to use this. So I was thinking maybe you can, like, once you heal max, you can like ice yourself real quickly to immune yourself from the damage. But the thing is, you still lose a bit of HP anyway, because the ice only lasts 5 seconds. So I don't see it. It's pretty interesting, but yeah, that's one of the awakening talents that did catch my eye. But yeah, the awakening talents are really good as well. Like, dude, the class just has so much damage now. So yeah, like I said, A tier. Immediately A tier. Like, I wouldn't put it lower, wouldn't put it higher. So yeah, Swordmage, pretty good class. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have for that one. Let's move on to the next class now, which is Assassin. Now for the Assassin. Alright, now guys, this class is pretty interesting, honestly. It's one of those classes, again, it's one of those interesting classes. Okay, so what's really changed about Assassin? Now, a whole lot. Okay, so now the thing is that I have good news and I have bad news. Now, again, with like, you know how I mentioned with Dragonknight, they removed a lot of the sustain, okay, but they increases the class's damage a lot. Okay, again, Assassin is the same. So now with Assassin, it has been buffed and it has been nerfed at the same time. Okay, so damage wise, it's been buffed a lot. Like, I mean a lot, bro. Assassin is crazy. Bro, it is crazy. Like, dude, it does so much damage now. Holy crap. Dude, wait until you... Bro, wait until you see the Awakening talent. Okay, just hold up. Okay, just hear me out. Okay? Now, the class is very squishy now. Unfortunately, Assassin dies a lot quicker now, which is very unfortunate, okay? Because you're probably wondering why, okay? So, if you guys didn't know, back in the day, Assassin was able to equip a talent that increases their evasion by 31% when they use the anti-CC for 7 seconds, which was huge. Like, bro, it was so difficult to even land an attack on the Assassin when they use this skill. Now, that doesn't mean that, oh, you know, like, it's bad now or some shit. Like, no, like, it's still pretty tanky when it uses the anti-CC. Like, it can evade quite a lot of attacks, but it's just they land more often now. So you're not as invincible as you was before, you know, when you use the anti-CC with that evasion talent. However, they have lowered the percentage of the evasion you get passively now. So the way it works is, back in the day, you would get 31% evasion when you use the anti-CC for 7 seconds. Now, they've given a talent to where you just passively have evasion on your Assassin all the time. So it's on you all the time. You don't have to use the anti-CC anymore. However, it's just not 31% anymore. Now it's like 3% for like low levels, and then when you level up more, you can get it to like 5%, 7%, which is pretty decent. It's not that bad, you know, because it's passive evasion, which is pretty good. Not to mention the anti-CC has passive evasion on it anyway, which is really nice. So in terms of sustain, the class has been nerfed just a little bit. Well, actually, I wouldn't say just a little bit, quite a lot, because Assassin's already squishy, so without that anti-CC, bro, you will just die. Honestly, you get caught once, you just die. That's just how the class is. Now, let's move on to why this class is really good, okay? It's because its burst damage potential is just... It is through the roof. That's the whole point of Assassin, okay? It's to kill and not get killed. It is to kill and not get caught. That is the whole point of Assassin, okay? That's the whole point. Alright, that is the whole premise of the class. Now, what to talk about with Assassin with this new patch? Okay, now guys, listen, it is crazy. Now, the class's damage has been buffed through the roof. Okay, so ultimate damage has been buffed by an extra 10% now. Even more than that, honestly, it's been buffed a lot more. Even with the new talents, it has been buffed a huge amount. So when you go for burst damage combos with your ultimate attacks, you will do a lot more damage. Okay, so that's also a thing. Now, let's get into the Awakening talents. Now, guys, I honestly have no words for this. This is broken. This is just broken. Now, the red set effect, the Clear Heart Sword Intent, bro. Let's just take a second to just look at this real quick, because, bro, this is a joke. Like, dude, I'm just lost for words. Like, bro, Assassin is immediately the best class in the game for PvE. It's not even close. It's not even close. Assassin does the most damage, okay? It's not even close, bro. I don't know what to tell you. It's just crazy. It's just crazy, bro. Like, this new Awakening talent is an absolute beast. Okay? Now, if you don't know what you're looking at, okay, not only does it increase the ultimate gain by 10%, and the ultimate cooldown is reduced by 10%, okay, which is already huge. Okay, now, when your HP is below 50%, you also get shield as well. You also get shield, which is crazy. So this class also gets a bit more sustain as well. So like I said, it's not all bad, okay? Even though you lost that little bit of evasion, okay? The class gets shields. So what can you do with this? Okay, now remember, this is every 10 seconds. For every 100 points of ultimate you get a 20% maximum HP shield, which is pretty good, okay? That is a pretty hefty amount, okay? Now, it's pretty crazy because remember, there is also a talent that boosts your damage when you are shielded. So you can also use that on top of the last effect. Now, the last effect is what I want you guys to really read, because I think this is the most broken awakening talent in the game. Okay, this shit is crazy. Bro, when possessing 300 ultimate, okay, now in this game, unrivaled points is like your ultimate charge. That's what they call it in this game. It hasn't been like translated completely, so it's called unrivaled points. Now, obviously, as you guys know, Assassin in the burst build, the first build faction, can stack 300 ultimate. So if you actually reach this number, your unrivaled points doesn't get consumed, which I think is really, really weird. Okay, I think this is broken. Like, bro, this is dumb. This is actually dumb. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? Like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, dude, like, what are we looking at, bro? So you mean to tell me, with this awakening talent, if you hit 300 ultimate, you then possess infinite amount of ultimate? Your ultimate is just infinity. Like help me understand. Like, you can just use your ultimates whenever you want now. Like, it doesn't consume any points anymore. It's just infinite. Like, is this a permanent buff or is it timed? That's the question. Is this permanent? Or is there like a certain amount of time before it expires? Because it doesn't say. So I believe this is permanent. Now, guys, anyone that plays Assassin on C server, okay, please let me know. I would love to know. Okay, please reach out. Okay, it would be really helpful because I really want to understand this last talent. Does it mean if you get 300 ultimate gain, does this mean no ultimate get consumed anymore? Now, obviously, it still goes on cooldown, but it doesn't cost anything, so you don't lose the ultimate amount. So you can just keep using it again and again. So you can equip 2 3-stars and just keep using it the moment it comes off cooldown. Not to mention, this awakening set effect also reduces the ultimate cooldown anyway. Like, bro. Not to mention, you get shields, bro. Like, this is crazy. Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, this is so overpowered. You know what? Never mind. Nah, Assassin's S tier. Assassin's S tier. Never mind. This is broken. This is absolutely broken. There's also a talent to where you can lay a smoke bomb as well. And when you're in stealth and when you're in your latent shadow, which is the anti-CC, okay, you can also get 20% damage reduction and 20% extra damage break rate, okay, which is really insane. Okay, that is huge. Not to mention, you could also go invisible again when you lay the smoke bomb. So I think this build is also pretty good as well for PvP. It's not bad, honestly, because the other one, it only works when you're in the first burst build faction because you need the 300 ultimate. So I think, yeah, you have to do that. But you could also use the other build to like reduce the cooldown of latent shadow, which is your anti-CC, by 20%. That is huge. So you could also just use that for the extra 20% reduction. And you could also use the other one that also increases damage from behind by 10% as well. So you can also do this for just for extra damage, you know, like, I think that's crazy. I think that's just really crazy. Assassin is just insane. Assassin is just, bro, it's pretty broken. Like, I'm gonna be real. Assassin S tier. S tier. Like, I'm sorry, I have to put S tier. Like, if it wasn't for these awakening talents, the class would be A tier. Because it lacks sustain a little bit, you know? But with these awakening talents, it makes the sustain a little bit more as well, and it just helps out a lot more. So yeah, this class goes to S tier. Like, it just does. It's good in every mode as well. It's good in PvE, it's good in 1v1, it's good in mass PvP, it's good in 3v3, 5v5, it's good in every mode. So it's just good. So yeah, it's immediately S tier. Like, I have to give it to it, bro. It's crazy. But yeah, that's Assassin. Moving on to the next class, which is Blademaster. Now on to the Blademaster. Now with this class, okay, again, they have buffed this class through the roof, bro. This class is insane. Insane. Bro, so much damage now. Like, this class is crazy with the damage. Okay? Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, okay, the new factions, the awakening talents, the class does so much more damage. It is insane. Okay? So, not only have they buffed the damage, but this class's sustain as well has also increased, which is crazy. So, literally with Blademaster now, their factions, there is now a faction to where you can increase your block rate by a huge amount, but you just cannot move. Now the thing is that if you use the dash attack, it doesn't actually take down the block stacks. So you can literally just use it, sustain yourself, and then use the dash attack to like follow up, and then just wait for it to come back again, you know, and use your whole CC chain, run away, come back, use it again to block all of their attacks, and then just use your whole CC chain. There's so many things you can do with this class now. Like, it's more versatile, and I like that. Okay, I like that the tank build, like, they've given this class a really good shield now, which I think is really crazy. So that's really cool. Now remember, Blademaster is a class that does not have any super armor. So once you CC this class, it just gets CC'd over and over and over and over again. It's one of those classes where it gets hard CC chained, and this is the class's biggest weakness. Now, I've always said it. Now, in terms of AoE damage as well, Blademaster have some pretty good AoE damage skills. It's got even more now, where they've changed the Storm Slash skill to a burst AoE damage attack now, which is crazy good. Okay, so that attack is also really good. They've also changed Blademaster's playstyle to where you can actually play a range build as well. So it's no longer just only melee, which I think is really cool. So Blademaster is really fun now. Okay, I think Blademaster is a really cool class, in my opinion. Okay, I think Blademaster is really good. They've also just given a huge amount of damage to this class. Like, bro, it does so much damage now. Like, dude, like, we're talking a lot of damage. They've also buffed this class's haste as well. This class also gets a haste buff as well, 20%. Like, it's just crazy, bro. Like, so much damage. Like, oh my gosh. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, okay, one of their factions, it allows you to get a 20% attack buff and a 20% movement speed buff, and you can also buff yourself with 20% haste as well with certain amount of skills, which is the dash attack stun and the anti-CC. Now, every time you use the anti-CC, okay, you get 20% haste cooldown reduction, which is really crazy. That's really good. Okay, now with the dash attack, this dash attack can be stacked, which, dude, with the awakening talent, bro, like, do I even need to tell you guys how much damage this does? So we're talking 20, 40, and then 60% extra attack damage, bro. Like, this is a lot of damage. So what you can literally do with Blademaster. Now remember, there is a skill that resets the dash attack. So, keep that in mind. Now remember, there is also awakening talents as well. Now, if it's what I think it is, okay, now there is a part of the awakening talent which is the clear hard sought intent, okay, that literally allows you to reset the pursuit of death cooldown again, which the translation for this is not as it looks. Okay, pursuit of death, I believe it's the life seeker skill, which is the dash attack skill. I believe that's the same thing, but it's just translated differently. So if this is what I think it is, okay, that then means you can use the dash attack skill 3 times in a row, which then buffs your movement speed and your attack power to a whopping 60% for 10 seconds. This is absolutely insanity. If it's what I think it is, okay? If Pursuit of Death is actually Life Seeker, that is actually crazy. Okay? That is absurd amount of damage. Because then if you use your 3-star ultimate right after that, everything just dies. Or if you use a Vanity Splash, everything just dies. It is crazy amounts of damage. Okay, you can literally just burst a whole bunch of people. Okay, with that stack of buffs. Like, bro, it's crazy. Now, Blademaster still have the only weakness. Okay, it gets hard CC chained. Now you only have Bloodbath and the 1-star. These are your only 2 things that actually give you unstoppable to where you cannot be CC'd. I do wish that they did change this. I do wish that Blademaster got at least 1 attack that gives them at least like 3 seconds unstoppable or something, you know, to where you can sustain a little bit, but they just haven't. So Blademaster, they just don't have sustain. Okay, unfortunately, the class just does not have sustain to like prevent themselves from being CC'd. So that's their only weakness, but the class is pretty tanky on its own anyway. It has a lot of block chance. It also has Bloodbath as well to self-heal itself. So yeah, there's also those. It also has Shadow Breaker to give yourself an immunity for 3 seconds, which is also kind of nice as well. Shadow Breaker it's okay, you know, it's not bad. But yeah, Blademaster, literally, I've always said it, if this class got a little bit of unstoppable, super armor, which will be really crazy, this class would immediately just be a freaking god. Like, it would just be so insane. But yeah, they don't have any unstoppable, unfortunately, and you have to spend a whole ultimate slot just to get some unstoppable, which I think is ridiculous. But yeah, it is what it is. That's just how the class is designed. In Old Revelation, the class actually had unstoppable, which I think is, you know, it's just, it is what it is, man. So with all of that being said, I think Blademaster is an S tier class, honestly, because of the amount of damage this class can do now. It's immediately an S tier because of its overall like effectiveness. Like, it's good in every mode now. Every mode this class is good. 1v1, it's good in Rift, PvE, 3v3, 5v5, mass PvP, it's good in everything. Every mode. Okay, every mode. Any mode imaginable. Like, it's just so good. It can also self-heal itself. It's got a lot of block rate, you know, it's got nice sustain, like, it's pretty good. It just doesn't have a lot of super armor, but you could work around that. You know, you have Shadow Breaker, you have Bloodbath, you have the 1-star skill. Like, there's ways, you know, like, it's okay, like, you can manage. But the damage this class, bro, the amount of damage this class does, bro, it immediately pushes this class to an S tier. Like, it's just super good now. Blademaster is also one of the strongest classes in PvE in terms of damage output as well, so the class is just good. Like, it's just super good now. It got buffed really hard. I don't know what else to tell you, honestly. It also can do attacks a lot faster now, so yeah, there's also that. So guys, with that being said, that is the Blademaster. So overall conclusion, it's an S tier. Class is crazy. It's absolutely crazy now. So S tier, yeah, literally. Now moving on to the Holy Lancer. So there is actually a bit of irony with this class, because back in the day, you guys already know this class got nerfed really hard. Okay, so they have now buffed this class a lot. Okay, like, bro, this class got buffed really hard, bro. Like, it's crazy. Okay, in terms of like the class being attacked in the sky, it's still nerfed. Okay, so you can still attack the class a lot easier in the sky, so that hasn't changed. So I mean, thank God. Okay, so that's actually really good. Now the thing is, back in the day, this class's damage got nerfed by 10%. They have now buffed this class's damage a huge amount. Not only that, but they've also given it more damage reduction, and you can even give the class self shields now, which is crazy. The class has a passive 12% movement speed increase as well. On top of that as well, it's just, bro, it's insane amounts of damage. And it does not even stop there. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why Holy Lancer is now also broken. Okay, Holy Lancer is also just S tier. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why. So, Holy Lancer, they have now got an awakening talent to where you can increase the limit of your plume glow stacks, which is the flying attack buff stacks. Or anytime you attack an enemy, there's a chance you could get an attack buff. Okay, and this can stack up to 10 times. However, with the new awakening talent, it can now stack up to 12 times. Okay, now it does not stop there. Okay, now listen. On its own, okay, on its own, without the awakening talent, all right, this attack buff was able to give you 20% magic damage. Okay, additional magic damage. Okay, 20% on its own. Now, increasing the 2 stacks, which it goes to 12 stacks now, it is now 24%. Okay, extra magic damage. But wait, it gets better. Not only do you get an extra 4% increase, okay, in terms of magic damage, you also get 12% damage reduction on top of that while you have this attack buff active. Okay, and wait, it gets better. Now here comes the cherry on top. So there is a skill called Wishing Light. Now, Wishing Light, it is the skill where it enhances the lance to where it glows with a whole like ray of light. Okay, now when you enhance your lance with light, it then allows you to do extra amounts of damage, okay, to the opponent, and every time you attack them, they also get stunned as well. Now, this lasts for 5 seconds, okay, but hear me out on this. Now, the awakening talent, all of your plume glow stacks then get upgraded to glorious plume glow. Now, this is where this class gets a bit crazy, okay, because if you then convert those 2% stacks that stacks up to 12% to 5% per stack, we are looking at 60% magic damage increase. Okay, yes, you heard that correct. 60% magic damage increase. The class is so much stronger now. It's actually a joke. Bro. So you mean to tell me, with the awakening talent, the class got an extra 40% attack power increase, including 12% damage reduction passively? Like, bro. What the fuck? Like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. I'm actually lost for words. Like, bro, this class is so strong. Like, my god. Okay, but it doesn't even stop there. Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, I know. Now, guys, okay, it gets better. Okay, so The tank stance of Holy Lancer also got buffed, okay? Crazy, I know. Now, they can also apply themselves a shield worth their maximum HP every time they pick up a feather. There's a certain faction that allows them to drop feathers along on the ground and in the sky. And every time they pick them up, they also get a 3% shield value for each feather they pick up that can be stacked up to 50% of their max HP. Now, this is absolutely crazy because it drops pretty frequent, and there's 3 feathers that drop each time that it drops amount of feathers. It drops a certain amount of feathers, okay? There's 3 feathers that drop each time. And it drops like within... There's like a 4 or 5 second interval, okay? But I've made the video anyway so you guys can see it. It drops pretty frequent, okay? So you do get quite a lot of feathers to pick up. There's also a awakening talent for this as well, which is feather gathering cooldown time is reduced by 20%. Recover 2% Skywalker energy and 2% lost HP for each feather picked up, which is kinda crazy. Now it gets even better. Picking up feathers will also increase your damage reduction by 5% and haste by 5% for 5 seconds, and they all stack. Now, it doesn't say how much it can stack up to, but it says multiple applications can stack. Now this is kind of crazy. Because if that can stack, bro, we are talking about a lot of damage reduction, bro. And haste, we are talking about a lot. So Holy Lancer is actually a crazy class now. Like, when you really think about it, okay, this is an insane class. Honestly, the movement style faction, I don't really think it's that good. But anyway, apart from that, the class is easily S tier. Easily. It's not even close. This class probably does close to as much damage as Blademaster does. But honestly, I don't see it. I think Blademaster still does more damage. But yeah. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, Holy Lancer is stacked. It's a crazy class. Got buffed tremendously. Insane. The class is super strong now. Also, Holy Lancer is good in 1v1. It's good in 3v3, 5v5, PvE, Rift. It's good in anything. Okay, anything. Mass PvP, everything. It's one of the best classes in Mass PvP. Honestly, super insane. Super insane. It's just such a good overall, just a great class, okay? It's one of the metas as well, I would say. Holy Lancer is great in like 5v5 and Mass PvP. It's just super good. Okay, really good damage dealer class. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Easily S tier. I got nothing else to say. Okay, but yeah, let's move on to the next class, which is Occultist. Now we have the Occultist. Now, guys, honestly, when it comes to Occultist, it's been buffed and nerfed at the same time. It's one of those situations. However, this class is easily S tier. Like, bro, it's out of the question. It's just a meta class of the game. Okay, it's always going to be needed. It's always going to be wanted. It's just one of those classes where everyone wants it. Okay, Occultist is needed everywhere. It's just a super good class to give everyone a tremendous amount of damage and really good support buffs. Like, bro, this class has been buffed support wise a lot. Like, I mean, really good support buffs. Okay, it's so good now. In terms of like individual power, the class is pretty bad. It doesn't really do as much damage as like Blademaster, Assassin, and Holy Lancer, obviously, and Dragonknight, you know, or Swordmage. It just doesn't do as much damage, but it's a more of a support class, so it's not supposed to do that much damage. But anyway, it also has more AoE damage now. They have given the class a new faction to where you can do more AoE damage now, which I think is pretty cool. So it does add more versatility to the class's kit. So what have they done to Occultist? Now, Occultist, they have made reincarnation, which is the light circle, give everyone inside of the circle a shield now, worth 20% of everyone's max HP and passive defense as well, percent wise, which is really good. Okay, it's really, really good. Now there's also a awakening talent to extend this as well by an extra 1 second. Now you can also increase the target's attack power by 5% by stepping into the circle as well, which is crazy. And after releasing the Siege Rebirth, teammates within 20 meters can actively teleport to its location within 6 seconds. So Siege Rebirth, what they're talking about? They're talking about the totem. Okay, Occultist totem. Teammates can now use this skill to return to the totem and get themselves out of trouble now, which is crazy good. Like, guys, I don't have to explain to you how good this is. They also get 20% damage reduction for 6 seconds as well, which is insane. Okay, like, bro, you can also do this while they're CC'd as well. So if your teammate is CC'd, they can return to your totem, bro. Now really think about that. That's crazy. That is actually insane. I can't believe they added that. That's, bro, that is crazy. I'm actually impressed. Like, that is actually a really cool thing to do. There's also like another one as well. That's pretty cool. But yeah, there's like another faction to where they increase the healing output of the Soul Chaser, which is the big light orb, which is a really good healing skill. So there's also that, but I think the reincarnation build is the best. Honestly, it's just the best. Support wise, it's super good. They've also buffed the Occultist to where they get unstoppable now every time they return to totem for 2 seconds, which was also part of their dual talent back in the day, but they've kind of like merged the dual talent into the class now. So I think that's deserved. I think that's really good because Occultist did need that, honestly, because it was kind of a pain to where they return to totem but they can just get CC'd again. I thought this was kind of dumb. So it's nice that they get this. The class's healing output has increased a lot as well, by the way. The class, it's just better. Like, support-wise, it's just better. Now, here comes the nerf. So, as you guys know, back in the day, Occultists used to have passive damage reduction by like 21%. Now you can no longer get that. So, the class has no passive reduction anymore apart from reincarnation. That's like the only thing you have that gives you sustain, which is fair, to be honest. So they do have a little bit of defense, but it's just not as big as it was before, because before you literally just have that passive damage reduction and you can survive really good 1v1 PvP or PvE or mass PvP. You have that extra damage reduction. The one where it gives you half and half, it was like 12% damage reduction for both sides, for magic damage reduction and physical damage reduction. But yeah, I think giving the class shield every time you use reincarnation and extra defense, it kind of balances it out a little bit, and they have extra unstoppable now for every time you return to totem. So does this balance it out? Kind of, but I mean, it's still a hefty amount of damage reduction, you know. So I don't know. I mean, they still have 3% damage reduction from some of their normal talents, so they do get something, you know. They do get something. It's not that bad, but it is what it is. But at least you can put on like you can put on like the 12% shield that you get every time you enter combat, so you can add extra sustain to your Occultist. Same with 6% HP limit as well. You can also put this for extra sustain. So it kind of compensates for what it had before. So Occultist, I would say, is a net positive. They did get more buffs than nerfs, so the class is just much better now. Honestly, I think it's actually really better. In terms of 1v1 PvP though, I think the class is worse. 1v1 PvP, I think the class is worse because the damage reduction was a huge deal. So the class isn't really as good as it was in 1v1 PvP anymore. The class dies really fast. Okay, really fast. So yeah, in 1v1 PvP, I don't see it. The class is just not good anymore. It was really good back in the day, but now not so much. Now it's more of a support all around type of class. PvE, this class is insane in terms of support, so it's always needed. In terms of like mass PvP and 3v3, 5v5, Occultist is always good anyway. I don't think it's good in 3v3 though, because people will just focus the Occultist and it will just die. So I don't know about that, but it is what it is. I was close to putting this class A rank in terms of like overall performance. Actually, you know what? Since we're going overall, right? Support wise, yeah, it makes this class S tier, but its individual power is pretty bad. So I will put this class A tier. Actually, I'll put it A tier. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. But yeah, Occultist A tier. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for Occultist. I'll keep it at an A tier, to be honest. Because yeah, it doesn't have enough sustain to last on its own. It also doesn't have as much damage as like the higher up classes as well. So in terms of like its individual performance, it's just not that great. So yeah, I'll put it at an A tier. I think that's fair. So yeah, now moving on to the last class, which is Tidecaller. Now for the final class, which is Tidecaller. So, now there's a lot of people that want to know about this class. They're pretty interested. I have talked about this class in one of my previous videos, and the class is immediately S tier, okay? Like, bro, it's not even close. Dude, the class is way too good. Now, the only weakness I would say this class has is its movement. The class doesn't have any dashes. No dashes at all. It's only got a movement speed buff, but the thing is, you have to play the yellow note skill in order to activate the movement speed. Now the thing is, it's not really a huge amount of movement speed. It's only like 10 or 12%, so it's not really like a huge amount of movement speed. Like if it was like 30% or so, that's crazy. That's pretty good, but it's not really a lot, you know. So you can't really rely on this to like move around a lot, you know. Like it's not really a huge amount, so it's very mediocre. So with this class, it's got everything. Like the only thing I said, it doesn't have any dashes, but everything else, it's got all of it. Okay, the supporting is insane. This class can support so well. It can also revive allies. It's got so many shields. Okay, it's got really big healing output. It's got a lot of damage too. It's also got a lot of damage for a support class. It's got a lot of damage. Good CCs, good AoE. Everything's AoE, by the way. Like it's just a huge amount of AoE attacks. Good CC. It's got really good ultimate skills. Like, bro, it's got so much sustain as well. Like, dude, it's got everything. It's got range. Okay, it's got really good DPS in terms of like PvE as well. Even PvP, really good damage output. So you can even use this class in a, you know, just have it as a damage dealer, literally, in any mode you do. It can literally just be a meta damage dealer if you want it to be. It could also buff the whole team's damage and crit power as well, which is crazy. It could give everyone ultimate acquisition speed, movement speed, everyone healing over time, everyone damage reduction. Like, bro, it's crazy, insane of a class, okay? Like, it makes Spirit Shaper look, you know, ridiculous. This class just, it's everything Spirit Shaper should have been. Honestly. Like, it's just better. It's just way better than Spirit Shaper. That is just how it is. Okay? That is the truth. Tidecaller is just better than Spirit Shaper. I don't know how many times I've got to say this. Okay? It's just better. Like, now, does this mean Spirit Shaper is bad? No, it doesn't mean Spirit Shaper is bad. But what would I pick over a Spirit Shaper? Tidecaller. Any day of the week. Anytime. I would pick a Tidecaller over a Spirit Shaper. Always. Always. Okay? It's not even a question. Tidecaller is just better. That's just how it goes. That is just how it goes. Okay? The class is crazy. So, there is also a crazy awakening talent for this class as well. Okay? Now, the thing is, it can be a bit annoying to play the musical notes and stuff. That can be a bit annoying. But in the damage stance, they actually have some really good attacks. Okay? There's also the blue notes that you can pick up to do a lot of damage to one target as well. Now, the thing is that every time you summon a blue musical note, okay, the damage is increased by it by 20%, okay? This is the Gathering Sword Intent set effect, by the way, the blue set effect for the Awakening talents. So, picking up a blue musical note also triggers the yellow musical note effect as well to shorten the cooldowns by 0.4 seconds as well. Now, keep that in mind, okay? That is already crazy. Now, keep that in mind. Every failed performance that you do, so this is the stance where every time you play musical notes, okay, you play music, if you fail to play the note, it does a big AoE attack of damage and hits everyone around you, okay? It also generates a blue note as well every time you do this, which is also crazy. So if you pick up those blue notes, you also get the cooldown reduction effect of it as well with this Awakening talent, which is super good. So Tidecaller in damage stance, I think, is actually super good. Okay, I think it's kind of better to be used in damage stance. Honestly, I think it's actually better in a damage stance type of class. But it also heals really well as well. So, bro, you can use it in both settings. It really doesn't matter. So anyway, it can also generate shields for itself as well. Like there's also like a new stance where every time you heal, you generate a shield, which is crazy. But anyway. A failed performance can generate an additional blue note, and all notes originally generated by the string song will be replaced with blue notes. Okay, this literally means every time you do the performance, the musical performance, and you have to hit the notes, usually it generates 2 green notes, 2 yellow notes, and 2 blue notes. But with this talent, you can make all of the notes just turn blue. All of them. Like, dude, that is crazy amounts of damage, bro. Like, we're talking a lot of damage. This class is crazy. That is so good. Like, the class can actually just be used as a damage dealer. Like, it's really good. It's got good AoE damage too. Like, it's got everything you need. It's also got a lot of unstoppable as well, just in case if you're wondering. Like, the class is just crazy. It's got good range. Like, bro. But like I said, it doesn't have any dashes, so you can't like dash across the map a little bit, you know, like to get yourself to catch up to someone. All you have is displacement, so you're gonna have to use that with your divine seals to, like, you know, to escape or do anything. So I mean, at least there's still that, so you're kind of safe, I guess. So it is what it is. But yeah, so that is pretty much all the classes. Where would I put Tidecaller? S tier, easily one of the best support classes in the game, and it's a good damage dealer too. It's just overall such a good class. It is part of the new meta now, so that's also what makes this class really important and really good, because you can also stack the attack buffs with Occultist too to also do a huge amount of damage. So there's also that. So Tidecaller is just, bro, it's just easily one of the best classes in the game. Easily S tier. I don't even have to think about it. Okay, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video, guys. I hope this was informative to you, and I hope you enjoyed. Okay, and as always, this has been your boy MassBlade here, and I try to make these videos as detailed as possible, and you guys learn something at least. So yeah, man, because the game's own websites don't even give you this information. You know, like, you have to find this from in-game sources, which is crazy. Like, bro, the developers should actually give you information on every classes like this, but they just don't. Even in patch notes, they don't mention all of this stuff, which is crazy. I think it's ridiculous. But yeah, man, that's just how it is. So it's good that I make these videos so people can actually learn about their class properly and actually get the information that they need. But anyway, unfortunately, I know it's all in English, okay? All of my videos in it are in English, okay? Because I don't know Russian very well. So even if I was to try and use Google Translator, it will be really difficult to get everything accurate for me to explain in a really good way, because Google Translate doesn't really get everything accurate, you know? So there's going to be certain words and sentences that I'm going to use that are going to be really hard to explain, like percentage and scaling and, you know, anti-CC and all this stuff. Like, it's going to be really difficult to like make it precise. So that's why I don't really put like Russian subtitles or anything, because it would just be a bit weird. In terms of like detailed explanation, it will be pretty hard to explain. So yeah, that's the reason why I only make my videos English, unfortunately. But yeah, if I learn Russian, I'll let you guys know. Okay, but or Indonesian or Chinese or something, like literally. Like, it is what it is, man. English is my main language, so yeah, I just stick with English. But yeah, that's all I have for today, and I will see you guys next time. Okay, all right, peace.
MassBlade.
I am the chosen one. I have been chosen to rule this planet.